I'm showing the world I still got a lot more to prove. Now I'm coming out swinging for your throat in the ring. Standing there bleeding, yeah, you know what I bring. Know what I mean? Dark when the bell is rung, cause it's a little too late now to get up and run. Get up and run. You're broken every part of me. I'm putting it up in the ground. I keep rising higher, higher, higher now. Don't fuck with me. Never gonna hold me down. I keep rising higher, higher, higher. The world can't stop me now. You see it's the calm before the storm. I was born for more, now you got me ready for war. Remember my name, everybody out of my way. Back up or get knocked out, this ain't a game. Cause I never stay down when they push me around. See the world stand up when they give me the crown. Now it's go time, do or die, dead or alive. You can try to kill me, but I will survive. I will survive. You're broken every part of me. I'm putting it up in the down. I keep rising higher, higher, higher now. Don't fuck with me. Never gonna hold me down. I keep rising higher, higher, higher. The world can't stop me now. You can't stop me. Can't stop me. No, 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 you can't stop me. I'm bloodied and I'm beaten down. I keep rising higher, 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 higher. You're broken every part of me. I'm putting it up in the ground. I keep rising higher, higher, higher now. Don't fuck with me. Never gonna hold me down. I keep rising higher, higher, higher. The world can't stop me now. Can't stop me, no, can't stop me.
What's up, all y'all trickly bastards, and welcome back to It's 17 or Somewhere. As always, I'm Athen. Today, Cameron's not here today. He had some personal issues. So we've got Don filling in.
What's going on, guys? Can't get enough of me today.
Can't get enough. So going back to back with me today. So today is probably going to be a shorter show than usual, and it's probably not going to follow the same formula we usually do, but we'll do our best. And I got my cat over here bothering me.
Well, I mean, it depends on anybody who's watching. I mean, your interaction will be key to keep this thing moving.
So, I'm looking to see which stories we've got for right now. All right, so I'm going to start with this story right here. So, yes. All right. Usually, Cameron's helped me with all this stuff, so I'm going to be a little clunky. So we got Carrie Wilcox over there saying hey, and April saying hey. So I'm used to being more the producer guy, and Cameron's doing all the actual story stuff. All right.
Right.
So we've got this story right here. We got half ton of marijuana valued over $8 million found by a dog on a routine traffic stop. So there were 1,264 individually sealed bags, each weighing approximately 1.5 pounds. So more than a half ton of marijuana with a street value upwards of $8 million was discovered by a sharp-nosed police dog during a routine traffic stop in northwest Indiana. The incident occurred at approximately 11:15 on Tuesday, March 16th, when an Indiana State Police trooper stopped a van for a moving violation near the town of Lowell, Indiana, about 50 miles southeast of Chicago, according to a statement released by the Indiana State Police. So the officer approached the vehicle with police to speak with the driver, later named as 31-year-old Christopher S. Colburn from McKinleyville, California, which subsequently led to an investigation of the exterior of the vehicle, including a canine sniff that caused the officer to ask about what was inside the van. So I think that's a little bit of profiling in there. Dude is in New York from California driving a van, and they're like, oh, so let's, investigate this vehicle. Though, because, I mean, yeah, and if marijuana were legal there, you probably wouldn't be having an issue with this because it doesn't open it up to the black market.
So what were they stopped for?
So far, I don't think it has actually said. Just a moving violation is what it says so far. So, to ask about what was inside the van. During that search, troopers discovered 38 large boxes and 6 black garbage bags, said the Indiana State Police. The boxes were wrapped in black plastic wrap. Inside the boxes contained a total of 1,264 individually sealed bags, each weighing approximately 1.5 pounds, and contained a green plant material. A field test of the content revealed it to be marijuana. Authorities said the conservative estimated street value of their discovery is approximately 5.7 to 8.5 million. Colburn was arrested on the spot, taken into custody to the Lake County Jail, where he was preliminarily charged with dealing in marijuana, a level 5 felony, and possession of marijuana with a prior conviction, a level 6 felony. So Lake County, that's Florida. They're talking about Indiana. I don't know, unless there's a Lake County in Indiana.
Yeah, probably.
but yeah, so there's some pictures of the marijuana. They've got cards in there, like labeled. So this is an actual like dispensary type branded marijuana that they're taking to Indiana to sell. So
I mean, it's possible. I mean, they got those like vacuum seal tight bags. I mean, but it's still trafficking.
But it's like, yeah, it is still trafficking, even though it would be illegal in California. And yeah, those look like labels on there.
Right.
So that's like what you would get from like a dispensary type thing, like their bulk purchase type of stuff. And yeah, it was just a moving violation. They pulled him over, and they were hoping they were going to find something inside this van. I guarantee you.
It's like you got like vacuum sealed bags of like all that weed, and then you just like toss all that in like trash bags, and it's like, oh yeah, but I mean, it kind of makes me wonder. It's like, what did they actually do to like get stopped? I mean, so it's like speed, but because you're talking about profiling, but it's like, I mean, profiling would have to like be a lot more involved than just
We got Dean Cerny saying that's a lot of weed. Should have hit it peanut butter. Moving violation is the reason why they got stopped. Probably smelled weed and got the dog to confirm. You can't hide the smell of that muck sticky. Well, so I mean, vacuum sealed, and then inside other bags, inside boxes, inside bags. It would probably be covered up pretty well. I mean, but that's a lot of it. So that might.
Yeah, but then again, boxes like covered in trash bags is also highly suspicious as well. So.
True. I mean, yeah, but it's like that was a panel van, so the officer wouldn't have seen any of that inside of it.
Can you scroll up, or it's where it shows like the back of the van? I mean, if you can even see, because a lot of panel vans are, you can't even tell, because a lot of panel vans that are behind the driver's seat's exposed. Right.
True.
So as soon as you like get license registration, like you just look past the driver, and you see like all these boxes like covered in trash bags.
Yeah. So. And it's like, so mind if we get the dog out, take a sniff around the car? But yeah, I mean, in a moving violation, like Dean's saying over there, speeding, failure to signal, improper lane change, all kinds of things that could be considered a moving violation. So it's, even throwing a cigarette out the window. So
True, but yeah, when it comes to that, I mean, it's like you got to do things, by the book to make sure that you actually get a conviction, you actually get a bust. So,
yeah.
I mean, if they do things, I mean, things go the wrong way, then you could just immediately lose it. I mean, not like, I mean, they still wouldn't confiscate it, but because I mean, if you get somebody on a moving violation, then you first charge him with dealing, but you can't prove that he's dealing if he's not like caught in the act.
I think as like
I mean,
with
so it should have been trafficking, right?
yeah, but I think in a lot of jurisdictions, just if you are caught in possession of a certain quantity, like above a certain quantity, it's just kind of a blanket charge of dealing, because why else would you have that much?
Yeah, but I guess if you go for trafficking, then that makes it federal, and then they actually lose that case because then it goes above their heads. I want to say.
And then there's also other factors that can actually present it to dealing. So like if you're caught with like weed, so you say it would be amount that would be a personal use amount typically, but if you're also found to have like a scale or a firearm with you along with that stuff, then at that point the charges go up to dealing, because why else would you have those other items along with the weed, even though it's below an amount that would be considered dealing. So yeah.
I count my calories. I'm very strict with my diet. I weigh out all my food.
Right. So cops and drug runners are a lot like deer hunting. Cops only have to be lucky once. Drug runners have to be lucky every time. Yeah, that's a good point. So here we go. So on to this next story here. So we've got a court judge linked to a drag queen story hour charged with child pornography possession. All right. So this story is coming to us from Washington Examiner from March 18th. So it's pretty recent story.
Yeah, a couple days ago.
So a Milwaukee children's court judge and father of two with ties to drag queen story hour was arrested after allegedly being caught with videos showing children being raped, officials said. And this is a judge. Milwaukee Circuit Court Judge Brett Blom, 38, was charged with 7 counts of possession of child pornography on Wednesday, the day after his arrest. Each count carries a maximum fine of $100,000 and 25 years in prison, or both. And each has a mandatory minimum sentence of 3 years of initial confinement. Blum is the first former president of the Cream City Foundation, which hosts Drag Queen Story Hour, a children's event in which drag queens read to children. Okay. So the allegations are alarming, Milwaukee Mayor Tom Barrett said in a statement. The reports of the arrest came as a complete surprise. I mean, Drag Queen Story Hour, children's event in which drag queens read to children. I'm not gonna.
What state is this?
This is
Milwaukee. So
Milwaukee,
Wisconsin. I didn't think they'd be that progressive, but
I didn't think so either. But Blum allegedly uploaded several images of child pornography through a messaging app in October and November 2020, including videos of male children being raped. Authorities, according to the charging documents, began the investigation in February after receiving a tip from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children that Kick messaging app user Dom Master BB uploaded videos consistent with child pornography through the app 27 times. Oh, good Lord. He's on Kick sending people freaking child porn. So he must have had a Kick group that he's sharing this stuff with people. The special agent assigned to Blom's case received content and subscriber information for the brettblom@gmail.com Google account. According to the subscriber information, the name of this Google account user was listed as Brett Blom, with a date of birth of June 11th, 1982. A recovery email address, dude, he's not very much older than me. A recovery email address of blom39@yahoo.com was also listed on the account, according to charging documents. 2 of the images were allegedly uploaded from government buildings, Holy God. Due to the ongoing investigation and pending case, I am unable to comment, Milwaukee County Chief Judge Mary Frigiano said in a statement. According to the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, Judge Blom's court calendar will be covered by another judge as needed starting Wednesday. Blom was elected to the court during the spring of 2020 after he defeated incumbent Circuit Court Judge Paul Dedinsky. Prior to his time as judge, he was the head of the zoning appeals board for the city of Milwaukee, a position he reached by appointment from the mayor. And it goes into talking about Drag Queen Story Hour. Oh, come on, cat. All right.
Yeah, go into that.
The Drag Queen Story Hour?
Yeah.
Okay. Drag Queen Story Hour, Milwaukee Executive Director Jonathan Hamlet distanced his organization from the Cream City Foundation and Blom. Drag Queen Story Hour Milwaukee has never been run by either. He told the Washington Examiner, adding that neither have ever participated in planning, organizing, hosting, or performing at any of our events. Blom has never held a title or position within our organization ever. Cream City Foundation has only ever been a fiscal sponsor that allows DQSH Milwaukee to give and receive funds as a nonprofit. Aside from financials, they have had no part in DQSH Milwaukee or DQSH Net. So there's more. This is a national group of stuff. This is actually, he added, as the leaders of DQSH Milwaukee and DQSH National, we absolutely condemn pedophilia. We are angry and outraged by Brett's actions. Pedophilia has no place in the LGBT community and no place in society as a whole. So, I mean, that's heartwarming to hear them saying that, considering there's a lot of groups like that that are actually trying to incorporate pedophilia.
So they those people that try to make LGBTQ plus, and they try to add pedophilia to that, which I don't want to get into that. But anyways, staying to the story, I mean, who made the connection then that judge was a part of Cream City Foundation, and then Cream City Foundation was a part of that program? But I mean, good on, those people for that program to completely distance themselves from any type of flack and backlash from that. But so, I mean, if they're not even involved, then who made the connection?
So it was an agent. So apparently, so the story was kind of hard to read. So authorities, according to the charging documents, I can pull those up actually. To the charging documents, began the investigation in February after receiving a tip from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children.
Yeah.
That Kick, a user on Kick, uploaded videos consistent with child pornography through the app 27 times.
I think it was like in the first or second paragraph when they mentioned that drag queen thing.
Let's see. It's just saying that
former president of the foundation that hosts the Story Hour.
Okay.
Get out of here. Come on. So, no, all right. So that's talking about, that's a personal attack against that.
So like, that's really the only reason they're bringing it up, because he's associated one way or another. So, yeah, they're just using it to smear him.
Well, you're also smearing that program, too. By saying that, he's involved, this guy was involved with this one group that does this one thing. And it's like, why would you even bring that up? See, they're trying to unintentionally make that connect, or have people make that connection to where the pedophilia is involved with drag queens. And it's like, no. Anyways.
So I'm going to check out the charging documents real quick, see what it.
Right.
State of Wisconsin Circuit Court here. I don't know.
He's got no shame, but I guess it would be like, how exactly did he get those images in those videos? I mean, as a judge, I'm sure he has access to evidence on other cases and probably held on to all that stuff that way. But
let's see, charging documents, lots of legal stuff. So yeah, 2 counts, 3 counts. So this is
possession.
statement of probable cause.
Yeah.
Upload.
Uploaded image videos. Yeah. 20 separate occasions. Files were sent to other Kick users through private chat messages or shared in a messaging group, email. Yeah. Okay. And it was verified. So I had a verifying email.
So he was using like his verified email. Jesus.
Yeah, his verified Kick account.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We know how verified works. Provided several IP addresses that were used through queries and discovered 2 IP addresses. Yeah, okay.
This dude just wasn't even trying to hide it.
No, I mean,
Oh, and they've even got they got descriptions of the files that he was in possession too, like file name,
big
upload
oof.
date. The video was a 1 minute 37-second in length. The video began with a close view of what appeared to be a young.
Yeah, how's about you don't say anymore?
Yeah, because this gets pretty graphic. Holy shit! I don't even know if we should be.
All right.
All right then.
Use better judgment, Athen.
Yes, use better judgment. All right, so yeah, as Dean Cerny said, sick fuck. Yeah, this dude, and he wasn't even trying to hide it. He's using verified Kick accounts and verified Google accounts to, like, what? What are people? I don't understand how. I just don't understand. So, but anyway, moving right along. So
Yeah. Let's definitely give this story a wide berth.
Yes. So I'm going to go to the next one. All right. So this one. Yep. All right. Let me get back into StreamYard and get the share up. All right. So we've got, it's a video too. Driver opens fire on Nashville cop trying to arrest her. Mom blames cop for shooting. Nashville, Tennessee. The Metropolitan Nashville Police Department released body cam and dash cam video on Saturday from the fatal officer-involved shooting of Niko Holbert a day earlier. MNPD spokesman Don Aaron told reporters that the incident began at about 9:30 a.m. on March 12th when MNPD officer Josh Baker stopped the vehicle in front of the Dollar General. The owner of the black Chevy Camaro, Damon Buchanan, had 6 active drug warrants. Wow. Officer Baker quickly realized that the driver wasn't Buchanan, but body cam video showed he found drugs in the car. The video showed he radioed twice for backup and then attempted to take the 31-year-old Holbert into custody. Holbert didn't take any of Officer Baker's commands seriously and continued reaching around inside the vehicle before she finally got out of the car. Officer Baker instructed Holbert to go to the back of the car, but she didn't, and instead wandered around a bit and called her mother to come pick her up, the video showed. She reached back into the car several times, ignoring Officer Baker's commands. Body cam video showed Officer Baker found a small bag of marijuana and a powdery residue in the driver's bag and went to put her in handcuffs. Holbert grabbed her purse and made a run for it, the video showed. She ran from the officer screaming, and he chased her around the Camaro. The video showed that as she ran, Holbert kept the phone to her ear on her shoulder and never dropped the cigarette clutched between her lips. She jumped back behind the wheel of the Camaro, but Officer Baker stopped her from shutting the door and deployed his taser. Holbert screamed from the shock of the taser, but continued to resist and reach around inside her vehicle, the video showed. Even as Officer Baker put the taser against her upper arm and deployed it, again, Holbert was reaching for a gun inside her vehicle. When Officer Baker saw the weapon, the video showed he yelled at her to put it down as he backed away. Man, put the gun down, he yelled as he drew his own gun. Holbert fired her gun at the officer, and the officer returned fire. Suspect then tossed her gun on the ground. And there's pictures here. Dude, that's a large officer. Then video showed Holbert fled the scene in the Camaro. She wrecked in a ditch shortly thereafter and was transported to the hospital. Officer Baker was shot once. Holbert was shot twice. Holbert died at the hospital. The officer was transported to Vanderbilt University Medical Center Trauma Center in critical condition, but remained hospitalized in stable condition after surgery. Reviewed the body cam footage. He appeared to do everything he could to try to de-escalate the situation, including the use of taser, including trying not to use his firearm. Chief Drake said Officer Baker just releasing Holbert because she wasn't the car's owner wasn't an option because she had drugs and didn't have a driver's license. There's nothing else he could have done better other than maybe leave the scene and let her go away. And obviously he couldn't do that. Let's see, where's this video at? Oh, here we go. Oh, wait, I didn't put the audio on. So hold on, let me stop share screen. Share screen, share audio, Chrome tab. Doop. If you're talking, Don, you're muted. I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. Dean, it seemed like he was using like a full-on contact laser, not one of the ones that shoot like the deployable prongs.
So with the deployable,
it didn't seem like he was able to maintain contact with her skin in order to keep her seized up.
But also with the deployable ones, you can drive stun people with those as well.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I guess we're gonna see the video instead of looking at censored Britney Spears'
hoo-ha. All right, here we go. The video contains graphic content that may be disturbing to some viewers. All right, how long is this video? About 5 minutes.
Is it gonna do audio or no?
Yeah, it should. Usually with these, it'll take a few seconds after.
Oh, and then immediately gets out of the car. All right, that's a good sign.
Just bring your bag out here. Ma'am, stop going through it. Come step right back here. What did you take out of it?
Nothing. I was
Okay. All right, listen. Just come back here. I think we're getting off on the wrong foot, okay?
Because I'm really confused on why I'm getting
He's
stopped.
got several warrants.
Okay, that has nothing to do with me.
You don't know who's in the car.
Nobody's in my car.
Well, now I know that. However, now
We'll move away.
that's the other problem.
Okay, so you want my bag and all my belongings.
So just step right back here.
Can I use the restroom?
And
Immediately?
That's fine.
23. If you did have one more, that would be.
Okay, use the restroom so I can flush. Jesus.
Yeah, he's.
Can we step back here?
I don't know if he knows that she's got drugs on her at this point.
So it's just.
Well, she wanted to immediately use the bathroom. I mean, try to flush it.
Mm-hmm.
Step to the back of the car.
Yes.
She admitted to another bag? Okay.
Hey, Mom, I need you to come to Alpha Trinity Lane right here where Niko is. The Dollar General.
Product placement, youth courts.
I just got pulled over because the mine name is on the
We are not sponsored.
and we wanted to know if you called me, not in the code, but I do got weed.
Hey, are you available?
I'm right here in the Dollar General.
This officer is being very
Brick charge?
very lenient.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
13, can I have you started around? You're about 4 minutes away. Disregard, actually, disregard on that.
Did he already call for backup?
Yeah, I think so. I think
Okay.
it said before
Yeah, I'm
he.
not done with that though. Where's your lighter at?
In the car.
13, it says you're about 7 minutes away.
I'll get it
You're
in a
on
second, okay?
you and your
Right
driver
there.
and the Dollar General.
Jesus, lady.
You scaring me.
Thank you.
Just a little extra something.
I'm just. The fact that he's just letting her go back and forth, keep opening her car and everything like that.
Well, you saw how big he is. He probably can't move that fast.
Good point.
Here, do me a favor. Turn
No, hold
Turn
on.
around.
Don't put me in handcuffs. I haven't done anything wrong.
Ma'am.
No, don't.
Get back in your tank. Get out! Get out of the girl! Down on the ground.
Haven't done anything wrong. Oh, there we go. So the boys.
One thing I see is that taser should. Okay, now he's drive stunning her.
Yeah.
That taser should be.
Ma'am, put the gun down. Put the gun down.
Oh damn!
20 good shot fire. Shot fire.
10-4, 13, back code
20 around here. Step out. Ma'am, put the gun down. Put the gun down.
Damn, he got lucky.
Yup.
20 good shot fire. Shot fire.
10-4, 13, back code 3.
There should be some sort of PT standards for police. I'm sorry. Now what the?
He also should have had the gun pointed the entire time.
There's that also. Yes. I mean, he is shot. But
Like I see it out of GTA. Well, she didn't take his gun and money, so
he'd be absolutely justified to continue shooting at her, especially with her getting in the car. She can use that car as a weapon and run him over. Like,
yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that could have went differently, and there's a lot of stuff that also could have went way worse than would have done.
Yeah,
or what it could have been.
He damn near got domed.
Yeah.
So I mean, and I think also when he drew the taser on her, notice how that taser was completely black. From the back, it looked like an actual gun. So to other people, she could have just saw he pulled the taser and she thinks it's a gun. So that could have right there escalated everything.
Yeah. All right. So also, yeah, that is a possibility.
So
right.
I feel as though the taser should be, how you.
But he
see
also
announced
it as a taser.
True. So, but she wasn't really paying attention to much of anything he said, anyways. So, coulda, shoulda, wouldas only count the day after. This is true, but I'm just saying.
Hindsight is 2020.
It is 2020. Yes, I'm just saying. Generally, the tasers. I think the tasers should be, like you see a lot of tasers that are yellow with the black, all that stuff. They're obviously and very clearly a taser, and really hard to be mistaken as a gun because she's not paying attention.
Maybe for like civilian use.
I think. Well, I'm just saying in the event of like this situation.
Yeah, but making it look like a firearm is also a form of deterrence, right?
I guess, but at the same point, she like what I'm trying to say is like in this situation, she wasn't paying attention to anything he said. Nothing he said had any bearing over to her at all. So when he said, "I'm going to tase you," she's probably not paying attention to anything. She just sees him draw, and now she's running, thinking that in this current culture, she's about to get murdered by this cop and all that stuff. And I think that may have had that.
She wasn't paying attention from the get-go. Hey, stand over here. Oh, we're over here? No, over here. Oh, let me get something from my car. And like nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, see, people, this is what we get when it's like we give these people like so many chances and we want cops to be like so nice and they should have done this. They should have been more lenient for this. And then it's like, look, he was probably the most understanding officer I've seen, like letting people get away, like letting her get away with so much.
Yep.
He was definitely trying to have this go smoothly and work with her, but I mean, yeah, it's crazy.
It's like, so Dean, on that particular taser, it didn't have the big yellow block on the front of the taser. That taser particular one was completely black. And I've seen several videos of this kind of stuff where the cops had tasers that were completely black like that. So
but they should have like a cap on the front, right? I think it's what he's talking about.
They usually do. That one didn't.
Oh.
So that one was just completely black. So, but she wasn't seized enough to stop her from shooting the cop. It's like, yeah, that cop, he made some mistakes that freaking
Yeah.
that was pucker factor. And he, even though he did get hit and all that stuff, and was he wearing body armor? I don't know if with his size he would be able to wear body armor.
I mean, probably not a plate carrier, but I'm pretty sure some type of like possibly low level like Kevlar. You know,
because I know, like, I don't know if it's the same with most areas, but like out here in Central Oregon and all that stuff, our cops wear plate carriers. All our cops and our sheriffs, they all wear plate carriers.
Right.
So I don't know, but
I don't think they make one that big. He would need to like a bomb-proof blanket or something.
I honestly feel as though there should be some sort of like PT standards for police, because that's a little extreme.
Or like, what do they call it? Dragon skin? That like flexible.
Oh yeah, the like
Kevlar stuff. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, he was a bit on the like physical standards. He's on the extreme side. It was like, and like right there at the end after the whole gunfight, he had to have been in shock and all that stuff, just kind of trying to figure it out, because
definitely
he just sat there. Like, if that whole situation right there had it been anyone else, he would have been executed just standing there like that, you know?
Yeah.
All right, so
definitely lucky.
We'll go ahead and go on to another story here.
Right.
I'm just kind of in shock at that whole thing right there at the end, where cop was just sitting there on his knees like, okay, you're gonna kill me. All right. What the fuck? This next story is
do we have any feel good stories, or is everything just gonna be like
there should be some when we get
pedophiles
to the Florida
and
man
shootings
and stuff. So
or maybe a feel good story would be shootings of pedophiles.
So we go to on 1700 somewhere. It tends to, we try to get the shock factor a little bit more and try to go with stories that are comical in that sense sometimes, like this one right here.
Okay.
Brace for impact, people.
Okay.
Subscribe to news from Las Vegas, Nevada. Only in Las Vegas, morgue employee arrested for pimping out corpses for sex. So, look at this dude. So, that's a very interesting looking individual. All right. So, Las Vegas, Nevada, a morgue employee from the city of Sins was arrested this morning for letting visitors have sex with the bodies under his care in exchange for money. According to the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, 36-year-old James Whitaker pushed the motto, "What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas," to a whole new level by operating a cadaver brothel for more than 2 years. 2 years? How did he get away with this shit? And that's all there is of the story. Oh, no, wait. Read full story. Here we go.
Like me the other week.
All right. According to the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, okay, I already read that one. That part. All right. Mr. Whitaker met his customers through a private internet site on which he advertised the corpses readily available at the Clark County Coroner's Office, where he worked the night shift as a medical examiner. According to investigators, he asked customers from $1,500 to $5,000 per sexual encounter, depending on the quality of the merchandise.
Jesus, Dean, talk about cracking open a cold one. Oh, man.
LVNPD spokesman Lieutenant Jamal Brown said the accused was arrested after he accepted to sell the services to a 49-year car accident victim to an undercover agent. Okay, after he accepted to sell the services of a 49-year-old car accident victim to an undercover agent. Oh, Lord. Investigators had to spend months chatting with him on necrophile forums before he let his guard down and offered his services. The sting operation was rapidly organized and he was arrested on the spot. Lieutenant Brown says Mr. Whitaker admitted he'd been operating his unusual brothel for more than 5 years and claimed to have some customers from around the world. He had customers in almost every American state, as well as Mexico, Europe, and Asia. He even claims to have some Middle Eastern princes among his regulars. What the? He will face a total of 1,734 criminal charges of necrophilia, corpse desecrations, and felony mutilation of human remains, and could face up to 700 years in prison. Holy shit. Mr. Whitaker's lawyer, Frank C. Davis, already announced that his client would plead not guilty, adding that 36-year-old necrophile was a victim of sexual discrimination. Oh, my lord. Sexual discrimination. Mr. Davis hopes this trial will lead to the abolition of Nevada's laws against necrophilia, which he says are anti-constitutional. James Whitaker will remain detained until the beginning of his trial, which should be in August. So he's trying to say that he's being victimized effectively, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much.
What's more disturbing than that is people were paying for it. Yeah, that's a, oh Lord. And he's hoping that this court case will get it to where it's legal. So
yeah. Okay. Where was my thought process on this? Like,
where,
all right. So I was like, all right, 700 years, and it's like, which made me like go back to like that judge in Indiana. It's like, so he's got 700 years for that, but then it's like, how many years did this judge get? Yeah, it doesn't say, but I bet that judge didn't get 700 years, which shows like a really extreme bias that needs to be addressed. Anyways, but like, how did the cops even get wind of this? Or
it didn't
like,
say, it didn't say
like,
anything.
are they just like, you know what? I'm bored. I'm just gonna like go on some necrophilia forums and see if I can get a bust and a conviction out of this, right?
The only thing I could think
that doesn't make any sense.
The only thing I could think of is they're either like Cyber Crimes Division stumbled upon it. Maybe there was some curious person that stumbled upon this crap and gave a tip. It didn't really say anything in that, but those are the ways I would assume.
Yeah, and if this was a movie, that guy would have like tried to like get a deal to expose names, and but then again, I mean, if he's got like what Middle Eastern princes on his regular customers list, he ain't gonna last long in prison.
Yeah, no. So because yeah, he's gonna disappear. So, but yeah. So the weird and the wild and the crazy, and that's Las Vegas, not Florida. So Las Vegas is trying to.
Yes, Dean, I do understand. Like there are police that specialize in sex crimes, but this one is pretty niche, right? Yeah. especially to catch wind of it to like further investigate, because normally you would have to like, I mean, I would assume have enough supporting evidence in order to invest man hours into a case, right? So it's like what led up to saying, hey, I want to investigate this, I want to pursue this, I want to set up a sting. Like what first brought it on? I mean, because his customers ain't telling anybody about that, right?
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, customers aren't gonna be bragging about this unless unless it's in a very niche group of people, and that's what I'm like. I can only assume it's got to be Cyber Crimes Division. Because they're gonna be going to these really far end websites looking for maybe not necessarily that kind of stuff, but trying to find it. I have no idea. I wish they put more of that information in there, but it's with the case being ongoing, I guess they can't really put
just a guy on like Reddit just looking up like the different like is like the most messed up subreddits he can find, and it's like, what? So oh man.
All right, so the next story, this one's going to be a little less shock-inducing. All right, so the data on legalizing weed. The editor's note, this is an excerpt of Planet Money's newsletter. You can sign up here. So, yes. Last month, New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy signed 3 bills making it official. Marijuana will soon be growing legally in the gardens of the Garden State for anyone over 21 to enjoy. The bills follow through. The bills follow through on a marijuana legalization ballot initiative that New Jerseyans approved overwhelmingly last year. New Jersey is now one of a dozen states, plus the District of Columbia, which have let loose the Magic Dragon, and more states like Virginia may be on the way. It's been almost a decade since Colorado and Washington legalized marijuana. That's given economists and other researchers enough time to study the effects of the policy. Here are some of the most interesting findings. Legalization didn't seem to substantially affect crime rates. Proponents of legalizing weed claimed it would reduce violent crimes. Opponents said it would increase violent crimes. A study by the Cato Institute finds overall violent crime has neither soared nor plummeted in the wake of marijuana legalization because it's just going to go elsewhere. But I guarantee you there's a lot less violent crimes happening because of marijuana. Legalization seems to have little or no effect on traffic accidents and fatalities. Okay. Legalization has barely affected the price of marijuana. I can't really fully agree with that. Legalization, I think it actually has gotten cheaper. Legalization has created jobs, lots of jobs. That is very true. Legalization is good for state budgets. True. Legalization may be good for states' workers' comp programs. Huh? A new working paper by economists Rahi Abouk, Keshar M. Gimir, Johanna Catherine McLean, and David Powell finds that states that legalize recreational marijuana saw a significant decline in the use of their worker compensation systems. They estimate that the number of workers aged 40 to 62 received income from workers' comp fell by about 20% following legalization. Evidence suggests that the reason for the decline is that marijuana provides an additional form of pain management therapy that reduces use of opioids, which are highly addictive and can be much more debilitating. Marijuana's effect on reducing opioid abuse has been documented in other studies. So depending on who you ask, it's not all good news. If you believe smoking marijuana is bad, then you'll be unhappy to hear that its use naturally increases after legalization. A study in the American Journal for Preventive Medicine, for example, found that legalization in Washington may be stalling the decades-long decline of marijuana use amongst teens. Another study found adults over 26 consume more cannabis after legalization. It seems even the AARP crowd is toking up more these days too. And you know, that's actually true. Like, you've seen them here in Oregon when you came out to visit.
Yep.
We stopped by a dispensary. It's like, dude, when I go to them, you'll see customers pulling up in freaking Porsches and Maseratis and all this crap, going in, buying their stuff and leaving. So, you know, these are obviously corporate high-end employees, you know, that all that stuff. It's like,
yeah, but it's also different cultures, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
not like cultures like ethnically, like cultures of like the people that live within that area, that demographic, you know.
True.
Because the dispensary in Oregon is like way different than like a dispensary in Denver. So I can
True.
compare and contrast, and then like Denver is like way more uptight, right?
Are they really?
Yeah, like way uptight. Like you can like they one I went to, they had like multiple counters where like you would check out, and then like every spot was like separate, and then they each had like the same thing, and only like one person at a counter, and then there was like a line before that that you had to wait to even get into the counter, and before even that line there was like an outside waiting room that you would even have to wait before you get into the room. And so yeah, super uptight. But then again, it's like, yeah, they're talking about, yeah, maybe it'll get legalized, but then again, it's like they're talking about what Virginia's going to happen sometime soon. I mean, that's highly unlikely because Philip Morris is located in Virginia. You know, I mean, Big Tobacco still has they're not willing to go down without a fight, right? To lose that much money, because they're like one of the biggest proponents in order to stop legalization, because they know it's going to go down. Same thing with like oil and electric cars, right? Like we've had the technology for electric cars for like the longest time, right? But you know, big oil is also stopping that, and so you also got shortages, and like there's like I'm not like I'm gonna put like this tinfoil hat on and like for why things happen or why things won't happen, but it's like, yes, I do believe more states will legalize it, but then again, you also have more states that are more prone to, or they benefit on, or certain companies benefit on the non-legalization on it, when it comes down to money. Like Virginia, Philip Morris, and like even North Carolina, we've got like they call it the Trinity for like healthcare, like with pharmaceutical companies and stuff within this area. And they like North Carolina also grows tobacco. So I mean that also happens. But you also got to see like the states that do have it legal. It's like they don't really have a hand in like in the pots of like these people and these companies that actually make the profits on it. You know, it's like these companies aren't making pharmaceutical drugs, and like these other companies aren't, you know, producing tobacco as well. But then again, you're also saying, oh, the rise in the popularity of it is based on legalization. I was like, well, then that's like saying, you know, there's no underage drinking, right?
So, I mean, I do feel that the popularity of it definitely increased with legalization because, you know, now you have people who didn't really hate it, but just didn't want to use because it was legal that now have access to it. So, you know.
Well, yeah, but I mean, there's like also a way to go about it. I mean, because it's like, yeah, you can make it like this hush hush thing, and then you trigger somebody's curiosity on it, you know, and then make them more inclined to do it instead of, you know, parents actually like exposing, well, not really exposing, but like giving their children or like the public, like giving people or getting people the information to like tell them what everything's about, right? Instead of trying to like make it like taboo or hush hush where we don't talk about it. And so like people are going to be curious and like figure out what this stuff is. I mean, if you're just out and open on it, then it's not such a big deal.
Yeah.
Right?
And I guess, you know, because like you were saying, the dispensaries in Colorado are like, they're real uptight and, you know, secure about it. So
Yeah,
that kind of gives it that air of mystery. Like, but here for the dispensaries is like going to the store. Like, you know, it's kind of more like a liquor store because,
yeah.
you know,
But
you're
Colorado
under
made sense because they were the first ones to do it. Right. So they wanted to make sure that they were legit with doing it and treat it seriously. I mean, you guys in Oregon you guys just don't care.
Pretty much.
Marijuana's
like,
legal. What? Cocaine's legal now or decriminalized. And then like, how long before LSD and shrooms?
Shrooms are already legal.
There you go.
LSD, I don't know, but LSD might be decriminalized in that other because like they decriminalize like cocaine and meth and heroin, and the idea behind that is that with it being decriminalized, we're going to be keeping those people out of prison and instead putting what funds would be used to keep them in prison to try to get them help. So
yeah, but do you have state prisons or do you have privatized prisons?
that I don't know.
See, but that's like a whole other thing. I mean, yeah, another wormhole on, you know, the business of privatized prisons where it's more profitable for them to actually have more prisoners, and that's why you actually have more stricter laws in those states that have privatized prisons. Yeah, so that's like a whole other thing.
Makes sense. So,
right.
but yeah, and it's like in California, I haven't really been to dispensaries much since it was actually fully legalized there.
Right.
I did go to them in California when it was medically legal, and the dispensaries at that time in California were similar to what you're explaining in Colorado. You had to go in to the waiting room and you wait in the waiting room, you check in, you sit down, you wait to be called into the room. Yeah. So.
But how long ago was that?
Probably 8 years ago, 8 years ago, at least.
There you go.
So.
Right. I mean, you have that. I mean, but then again, like, look how it's treated, like in states where it is legal compared to those where it's not. Where it's like, where it's not legal, people like make it like it's a big thing, and then where it is, it's just like, oh, it's just something that you do. It's like, oh, I'm just gonna like have a beer after work.
The stigma,
I mean, like, yeah, I mean, there's a stigma, but it's like you get like people just don't brag about it, you know. So
because out here it's just like, you know, especially in the kind of area that I'm in, because this is like the Emerald Triangle. I'm a little bit out of the Emerald Triangle where I'm at, but in this area is kind of in the Emerald Triangle where weed has always been a pretty prominent thing in this area, even
Sure.
before it was legal. So, you know, I think that has a lot more to do with how quickly people took a shine to it.
Yeah, but do you also have people like flaunting it?
No, not really. So it's just, you know,
So yeah, there's that, and then you also have the whole philosophy of like counterculture and everything else. So, anyways,
so, but I was gonna say something. I don't
good luck, New Jersey. Hopefully, you guys get it passed.
So yeah, and as far as the South, it's going to be one of those things. Even if it does get federally legalized, the South is probably going to maintain it not
It's
being
gonna
legal.
be a long haul. Well, I don't know. I mean, South Carolina might.
Mhm.
I mean, Florida. I think Florida, it's medical, and maybe Atlanta and South Carolina. Well, then again, like I said, that also. I mean, yeah, you tie it to like you have religious ties to it and that whole outlook, but then again, you've also got like the money behind the companies on everything else.
Mhm. So, all right. So, well, there are some proponents that say that it actually says to smoke weed in the Bible. But either way, we're going to go on to a different, because there is actually a sect of Christians that worship weed that has something to do with the actual. I don't know, but we'll move on to the next story.
Right.
Because I don't know enough about that particular topic to really speak at length on it.
I mean, it's believable. I mean, there's what the religion of what the spaghetti monster or the
Oh, the
religion of
spaghetti monster? Hmm.
yeah, that one. And then like, I mean, never mind. There's like
Judaism.
religions. Yeah, yeah, but that's not as like fantastical as
And they got the Church of Bacon, which is another actual religion. So,
yeah.
like, it's an official, actual, legit religion,
Oh
the
yeah,
church.
yeah, I heard about that one.
Just like Judaism is. But anyway, going on to the next story, we got yard sale bull revealed as rare Chinese artifact auction for $721,000. Isn't that
Whoa.
that would be a great day of yard sailing. My mom used to love to go out to yard sales just because she was hoping to find stuff like that. So, a small porcelain bowl that cost $35 at a yard sale and turned out to be a rare 15th century Chinese artifact sold at Sotheby's auction for $721,000, $721,800, more than 20,000 times its original asking price. An unidentified Connecticut man bought the bowl from a yard sale near New Haven last year and later emailed photos to Sotheby's seeking an evaluation. Appraisers determined it dates back to the Ming Dynasty of the early 1400s and estimated its worth at between $300,000 and $500,000. Fetched a much higher price as part of Sotheby's important Chinese art auction in New York on Wednesday. Sotheby's said the bowl was one of the major stars of the sale, and it set off a four-way bidding battle. It's always quite astounding to think that it kind of still happens, that these treasures can be discovered, said Angela McAteer, Sotheby's senior vice president and head of its Chinese Works of Art department. It's always really exciting for us as specialists when something we didn't even know existed here appears seemingly out of nowhere. Of the 6 other bowls of this kind known to exist, McAteer said most are in museums and none are in the United States. 2 are at the National Palace Museum in Taipei, Taiwan. 2 are at museums in London, and 1 is the National Museum of Iran in Tehran, according to Sotheby's. The cobalt blue painted bowl is small, about 6 inches in diameter, and shaped like a lotus bud or chicken heart, according to a write-up on the auction website. It's adorned with blossoms of lotus, peony, chrysanthemum, and pomegranate flowers, with a medallion at the bottom and bordered by a band of lotus scrolls around the rim. McAteer said the bowl has all the characteristics and hallmarks of the early Ming period, noting its smoothness, silky glaze, and distinctive color and designs. It was dated to the era of the Yongle Emperor, who reigned from 1403 to 1424 and ushered in a distinct new style of porcelain work that they described as immediately recognizable, never surpassed in defining the craft still in the 18th century. In every respect, this delicate bowl is quintessential Yongle product made for the court, showing the striking combination of superb material and painting with slightly exotic design that characterizes imperial porcelain of this period. And even after all these years, Sotheby's says the artifact is in overall very good condition. It notes just a shallow chip and minor warping on the rim, as well as some light wear and minor firing imperfections that are all consistent with age and type. And that was the story.
That's a hell of an investment. $35, and then so I mean, he must have had known that, he was on to something.
I'm pretty sure this dude saw the bowl and was like, "That's something more than
actual porcelain." I mean,
I'm sure. I'm just like you. I'm sure he picked it out as some sort of an antique, but he probably didn't pick it out as something that old,
right?
Because it mentioned the 18th century, so because that article said it even it was setting trends. That style of pottery was setting trends even in the 18th century. So it's like he may have thought it was something from the 18th century.
Yeah.
So Dean, it's an old ass bowl next.
Yeah.
So
sorry, we needed a palate cleanser with all the pedophilia and shooting.
Yeah. All right. I'll get to the next story in just a moment. Give me just a second. All right. Sorry, I had to yell at my kids real quick.
All right.
They're down there screaming and hooping and hollering and stuff kids do. All right. So, Ohio man calls police after raccoon ransacked kitchen and hid in his dishwasher.
What?
So, resident absurd animal call officer catches raccoon that broke into home, police say. So, we also do crazy animals, and this one looks like it's got a video.
Yeah, these are the kind of stories that we could have used in between those heavy ones.
Right. So, police in Ohio were surprised to discover a masked bandit in a local home on Monday. But it wasn't a burglar, at least not a human one. A North Ridgeville resident phoned authorities after discovering a raccoon hiding in his dishwasher. Police sent their resident absurd animal call officer, patrolman John Mezzo, to investigate, according to a department Facebook post. All right. According to a department Facebook post. That's what that was.
No, his title, Resident Absurd Animal Call Officer.
It must have a lot of these types of cases.
He's just that one guy that's like, oh yeah, I ain't dealing with this. Call up so and so.
Right. So, sure enough, Mezzo found a raccoon sleeping in the dishwasher when he arrived. The animal had broken in through a bathroom light and ransacked the kitchen before settling in for a nap under some dirty dishes, according to police. Mezzo is known locally in the city west of Cleveland for responding to other odd calls involving animals, like when a kangaroo got loose from its pen in 2015 and the time a cow fell off a trailer and wandered away in 2019. They got video of the kangaroo.
Yep, he's that guy.
Photos from the latest call show the critter crouched inside the dishwasher and then led away on a leash by the officer. It took about 17 minutes to coax the raccoon out from his impromptu bed, news agency Southwest News Service reported. All in a day's work for John, police wrote, adding that no raccoons were harmed in the making of this Facebook post. And that's the end of the story. So it's got pictures of him. That's not exactly a leash. It's one of those handling tools. So handling noose or whatever it's called. And there he is inside the dishwasher. I mean, I've had run-ins with raccoons. He's got an apple in there with him. But raccoons, they're brazen, dude. Like, I remember one time here in Central Oregon, it was in the summer, and the other apartment that we lived in, the one you came and visited us at, we had the back door open because it was during the summer. We were chilling, and this raccoon just straight up walked up into the backyard, walked up to the. I was standing by the door. He walked up into the door and was coming in the house. So I was like, kind of shooing him. I was kicking at him and all kinds of stuff. He was just standing there looking at me. Finally, he did run away. But yeah, they'll just walk into your house and make themselves at home. So, let's see. Fucking trash pandas. All right. Fucking leash. He used a catch pole. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
we couldn't think. We mentioned it. We just couldn't think of like the actual name for it.
Mm-hmm. So, let's get on this next one here. Let's see. How many more do we have? There's only a couple more stories here. All right. I didn't notice any Florida man stories yet.
Bet.
So, all right. Let's share this next one. All
He
right.
has a website. Did you know that?
Who does the?
Floridaman.com.
Yes, he does. So, North Dakota man says condo association threatens $200 daily fines over American flag noise. My jaw just dropped, man said after second letter about U.S. flag. So, it's sound of freedom and liberty, but is it too loud? A Fargo, North Dakota man said he's been receiving threatening letters from his condo association over complaints that his American flag is making too much noise on windy days. Something I've always
What?
Yep, making too much noise on windy days. Something I've always wanted when I owned a home, the homeowner, Andrew Almer, told Fox News. Having an American flag in the yard is just an American thing. That pride to have. Now, Almer said he's being threatened with fines of $200 per day if he leaves up the flag. Almer said he's lived in the condo for about 5 years and has been flying the flag since about 2 years ago when he stopped renting the home and purchased it. I don't really take it down, he said. It's been lit up every night, and it's an all-weather flag, so you follow the guidelines, and it's been up for 2 years straight, almost. First letter about the flag showed up in January, according to Almer. First letter I got, I laughed because I just thought, this is ridiculous, he said. You cannot tell me somebody is complaining about a flapping flag in the wind. The condo association didn't immediately respond to calls from Fox News, but Almer said he suspected the real issue is a personal vendetta the condo association president, who happens to live in the unit above Almer, has against him. When a second letter showed up around the start of the month, Almer said his jaw just dropped. When I got the second letter, I thought, oh my God, she's serious, he said. Even with the threat of fines, Almer said he has no plan to take the flag down. As KVLY reported, the freedom to display the American flag Act of 2005 prevents condo associations from restricting displays of the U.S. flag on residential property.
Oh,
So-
thank you.
They don't even have ground to stand on by telling him take it down or pay $200 a month. And it sounds just like
but they're
that.
like an HOA, so they're gonna try and step on as many toes as possible.
Yeah. And what seals it up is the president of the condo association lives above him. So I'm looking at these pictures, this flag is, comes up. So if he wants to be out on his back patio, just chilling and it's windy, he's going to hear the flag flapping in the wind, which,
Right.
I mean, this dude wanting to be a freaking douche nugget or chick because it was a woman. So,
I mean, I guess he put out like a solid flag, like just like a metal one, or like a solid wood one. One of those like one of those straight ones like they have on the moon. So,
yeah, he said it's not even a big flag or even a flag on a pole. It's a $10 flag kit from Walmart. It's true, but people are just gonna find things to complain about. That's what's so. All right, here's another one. Yeah, none of these. Oh, there's one Florida story.
all right, I got like the site pulled up, so there's like several. Yeah, you can just look it up and then we'll hit whatever.
All right. So we've got this next story. Let me get that on share screen. So, boop, 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 boop. Okay. So Michigan DoorDash driver drops pizza on ground, stuffs it back in box. Oh. Hungry Detroit man's heart sank when pizza hit the ground. All right, pizza toppings like pineapple can cause controversy, but most people can probably agree they don't want dirt on their pie. A Detroit man's dinner was spoiled when the DoorDash driver who was delivering his pizza dropped it out of the box and onto his home's front porch. The whole incident was caught on video by his doorbell camera. Rodney King Jr. Oh, great. Rodney King Jr.
Yeah, I caught that.
told Fox 2 in Detroit that he and his wife had ordered pizza one day when neither of them felt like cooking. They watched from their doorbell camera as the delivery driver arrived. They got pictures of it. When the guy was walking up to our
Dang.
porch, we saw that he was holding the pizza vertically. So from there, I knew for a fact the pizza was outside of the box. King told Fox 2, and then the pizza fell on the ground from the vertical box. Why would you be holding the pizza like that? Still, King thought the driver might own up to what had happened. He was wrong. As soon as I saw the pizza hit the floor, my heart sank a little bit, he told Fox 2. I was hungry, but I was really hoping he would do the right thing. Rather than admitting the mistake, the delivery driver shoved the dirtied pizza back into the box and placed it back down on the porch as if nothing had happened. So afterward, he looked at the pizza. He went and he started to scoop it back into the box and make it look as pretty as he could. Picked up all the crumbs and everything and then walked off. Instead of enjoying his hot meal, King had to file a complaint with DoorDash. He said the company refunded his money. A DoorDash spokesperson told Fox 2 that the driver's behavior was inappropriate and unacceptable, and that he had immediately been deactivated when they found out what had happened. We sincerely regret this incident fell short of the experience we strive to provide every day, the spokesperson said. As for King, he said the experience wouldn't stop him from using the delivery service the next time he decides to have a pizza night. It wasn't DoorDash's fault. This isn't the only time a DoorDash driver has delivered less than expected service. In 2019, Pennsylvania man said his DoorDash driver ate some of his food before dropping it off. Wow.
Dang.
That is, both of these are just kind of inexcusable acts of laziness and dishonesty.
Right.
What? You're going to eat someone's food before you bring it to them? Like, what the?
I mean, I understand if like I got Five Guys, but I mean, I also don't want somebody's hands reaching into like my bag and stuff and like, grabbing, mixing all that stuff in there, because Five Guys, they'll give you like an ass ton of fries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, fries, it's unlimited fries at Five Guys, isn't it?
No, it's like, oh, let me get a small fry. And then they'll give you like the small fry, dump it in the bag, and then they'll give you like another scoop of fries to go inside the bag.
Mm-hmm.
Or basically like, last time I got like Five Guys fries, like I split it with like two other people.
Okay.
Where it's like you just pretty much tear the bag open that the fries are in, you lay that out, and then that's like your giant platter. So
I don't know. Like because I order food fairly often. Now hearing those stories, I'm like, what the?
DoorDash is actually pretty good about like when it comes to your order and stuff. Like I've had one where like I got some from DoorDash one time. The driver said that he delivered it, but like the food never showed up. And then like I followed like the prompts in the app saying like, hey, there was a problem in my order, and like, oh, my food didn't get here and all this other stuff. And then I got like, I mean, an auto generated apology, but then I got like my money back within minutes.
Okay.
Like directly back in my account. No, like however many day waiting period or any of that. So
and see, I don't order from like DoorDash or any of those because we don't have those here in Prineville. So it's like when I'm ordering out, I'm basically ordering from delivery from Domino's, Pizza Hut, or
you have
there's
like
a sushi place that delivers. So we get
delivery. You have like no food service, like nobody drives for DoorDash or Uber Eats or Grubhub.
Not here, no.
There you go. You can make a killing. You could be the only driver.
Right? They're not even in this area yet. They're working on getting it started. Like it's going that direction, especially now that Facebook has just said they're going to do another like 10 million square foot addition to their freaking data center here, making it the largest Facebook data center in America. So, and that's in this tiny little town of Prineville that's like 10,000 people. So if I were in Bend or Redmond, I'd have access to all those, but Redmond's a half hour away and Bend's almost an hour away. So so it's like, oh, but we do have Pizza Hut, Domino's, and Sora Sushi. So
right. I mean, unless you're gonna, do delivery for Domino's, but
I'll be moving before it really.
Oh yeah.
So, and then down in Reading, they have all that stuff there. But we got one more Florida man story, Florida person story. All right. Now let's go ahead and get this rolling. Share screen.
Yeah, I'm on the Florida Man site, and like all these stories are like old.
Mm-hmm.
Like the latest one is from here we go, January 10th, 2021.
So I think what Cameron does a lot of times is he'll look at actual like news sites from areas in Florida to get shocking stories, because he tends to have pretty recent Florida man stories. So Florida school principal daughter arrested for allegedly hacking student accounts to cast homecoming votes. Authorities began investigating after hundreds of votes for Tate High School's homecoming court were flagged as fraudulent. The crown doesn't appear to fit. Sorry, Queen. A Pensacola teenage girl and her mother, an elementary school assistant principal, were arrested Tuesday for allegedly hacking hundreds of student accounts and to fraudulently vote for the teen as homecoming queen in the fall, police said. Laura Rose Carroll, 50, and her 17-year-old daughter, Emily Rose Grover, have each been charged with offenses against computers, unlawful use of a two-way communications device, criminal use of personally identifiable information, and conspiracy to commit these offenses. What kind of two-way communications device did they use unlawfully? An investigation by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement began in November when the Escambia County School District reported that hundreds of student accounts had been illegally accessed. Investigators determined that Carol, an assistant principal at Bellevue Elementary School, and her daughter, a student at Tate High School, had accessed student focus accounts. The FDLE said Carol had district-level access to the school board's focus program, a school district student information system. The investigation came after hundreds of votes for Tate High School's homecoming court were flagged as fraudulent, with nearly 120 votes coming from the same IP address within a short period of time. Pennsylvania cheerleader, that's a advertisement for another story. Investigators linked unauthorized access to Focus to Carol's cell phone, as well as computers associated with her home address, with nearly 250 votes having been cast for the homecoming court. So here's what I'm getting at. A lot of people that tried doing stuff on the internet clearly don't have any understanding of how the internet works. Like, I'm not going to keep reading through that article, but like, are you noticing that trend, Don? A lot of people who are committing crimes like with the internet or on internet devices don't understand that there's a record of everything you do on the internet and where it's coming from and what devices it's from. You're muted also, Don, if you didn't know.
All right. Yeah, sorry about that. I don't want to like be vaping like right into my microphone. Yeah, but the past few stories, I mean, what we're looking at is a certain age demographic that doesn't know how technology works, especially when it comes to the internet and tracking and, you know, all that stuff. But she was a principal. I mean, that does give her certain access. I mean, going off of the charges, I mean, technically, because they also say like with schools is that with those accounts, I mean, you're using, it's all through the school, so it's technically not yours and it's not personal. But then again, if you're hacking an account to like change votes, I mean, clearly, I mean, she's in the wrong, but I don't know, those charges seemed like pretty strict for what she did, you know. That's like saying, oh, if I go into a government building and I scuff the floor with my shoe, that's like, you know, defacing government property. I mean, it's like, yeah, I mean, granted, I mean, yeah. Anyways, it's like, of all the stupid things to do, oh man.
My daughter needs to be prom queen.
Right. I mean, I understood like the whole, like, oh, pay a college, like that celebrity that like paid the college to like pretend, like basically like give her daughter a grief for not attending and like signing her up for like all these BS classes. Like that makes sense. And yeah, they got caught, but it's like of all the things to do, like hack all these accounts to change votes so your daughter becomes homecoming queen. Like, talk about an overprotective helicopter mom shelter her kid from like everything, like spoiled.
It's seeming like this has got to be like one of those situations where if you're not at that upper echelon of things, being voted as prom queen and all that stuff, being voted as homecoming queen, and then getting into that top Ivy League college and being in the right sorority and all that stuff, it sounds like
so they live in like a Disney Channel world or like a teen drama world. I mean, it's like
it seems like she wants her daughter to be one of the important people.
And it's like not even that. Like I couldn't even tell you who was like. Well, then again, I couldn't tell you a lot of things about my life, but it's like my high school, like homecoming queen, homecoming king, prom queen, like that stuff doesn't matter. I mean, it mattered to those people, but then like what? I mean, it was always the same like popular people. I mean, but then again, it's like it wasn't that big of a deal, right?
But it's like I'm not assuming that you really went to, and I don't know too much about the caliber of the school or anything like that, but like I'm not assuming you went to one of the more high caliber schools because you know.
Yeah, like, I mean, for them, if it was like what a private school, I mean, would private schools even have like homecoming kings and queens? Because that's homecoming is normally tied to sports, right? Sports where like your team is like playing away games for X amount of weeks, and then homecoming is when they finally get to play a home game. Or that break after being, on the road, so to speak, playing all these other schools.
And I do know they're like, because private schools, and then you also have public schools that are in the more affluent areas that will tend to have higher caliber people. And then at those types of places, those popularity contests, those are
right.
Big things.
And then but then all that depends on is like, it's all online now it's high school. So it's like, oh, how many followers do you have? How many subs do you have? It's like, how many views do you have? That are you verified? Well, that's a big one. And like, that's what they don't, but then again, I don't know. I don't know if I'm just out of touch, but this is like so asinine. It's like, why? It's like, I mean, I know why. It's just so dumb.
So where is Escambia County?
Anyways.
It's these days things are freaking ridiculous. Okay, right. Escambia County.
Yeah, I'm just like just dumbfounded by all this stuff. It's like I can't even like rant and like riff off of this. Because like my brain is like, what?
And it's so that's where Pensacola is. So Escambia County has got Pensacola. So yeah, there's a high chance that she might be in one of
but I mean Pensacola is like nothing. I mean, you have what? The Navy the Navy Air Force base there, and what? It's a spring break town. It's not exactly, bougie.
Yeah, I mean, with the spring break town part of it, it's.
Well, I mean, it's not like Panama City, but.
Yeah, no, it's not. But I don't know. That's the only thing I could think of it for it. Because the. Teen Sardy, I have one person on my OnlyFans. It's Athen Hard Daily. What the fuck?
Got him.
I don't know. I'm just trying to reason and justify why they would go through so much effort to ensure. I mean, unless it's just the daughter wanted it, and the daughter's one of those mean girls and is bullying her mom. Like, you need to make me the prom queen, mom. You need to do it.
She could be a total brat, and her mom just enables her.
That's the only other reasonable justification I can even come up with to understand why they would have done this.
Right. I'm gonna make this. I got another Florida man story.
Swing.
Let's go. This and this. Share this screen real quick. All right. Florida man exposes himself to Walmart shoppers while riding a scooter inside the store.
What the heck?
I don't know if that's going to load, but I'm not going to click on it.
Oh, and he was an elderly man too. So
yep.
that
Here we go. Old people for the win today. An elderly Florida man is accused of exposing his genitals to horrified Walmart shoppers while riding a motorized scooter inside the store, police said Friday. Cops were called to the scene Thursday after numerous witnesses saw the suspect, identified as 80-year-old Hoyt Neely, riding around the store with a hole in the crotch area of his pants, according to police. The subject would then pull his sexual organ through that hole, fondling and exposing it to the victims. This guy.
So he's just riding around Walmart. See my dingling?
Yeah. You like what you see?
It was me. I got a 10% employee discount.
Yeah. Sir, what do you think you're doing? No, I'm just jagging it. The accused perv, oh, that's professional, was arrested and booked into the Levy County Jail before being released a few hours later. Police said Neely matches the description of a subject who performed these same acts inside the same store. Despite previous complaints about the man, his identity has not been... his picture needs to be up on the wall. Like at the front, like the greeter needs to have like a list, and it's like, don't let this person in, don't let this person in, don't let this person in.
Give him a tablet with pictures.
Yeah, right? Despite previous complaints about the man, his identity has not been confirmed until this week. Thursday's incident happened in Chiefland, about 40 miles west of Gainesville. We would like to remind the public to always be aware of your surroundings everywhere you go, even in our small community. What a cop-out.
What the hell, though? I mean, like, this old dude.
Right?
Could he even... Because, like, riding around with a hole in your pants, like, that's one thing that, like, okay, that shit happens, you know, whatever. But then reaching in and pulling his junk out and flopping around. Now, like, is this dude senile and just, like, or is he thinking that he can get away with it now because he's old, because people are going to think he's just senile? Like, so many questions.
Okay. I'm going to go with a crazy story, then I'm going to go with a more interesting story.
Okay.
You're right, Dean. His picture was on the wall, and it does say Employee of the Month. Okay. So follow along to this title very carefully. A Florida man pulls his granddad's severed ears from his pockets while cops search him. Everybody got that? Oh, and there's body cam footage. Oh, all right. Colby Allen Parker, 30, initially told Lake County Sheriff's Department that he and his grandfather, Ronald Wells Sr., 77, were smoking marijuana at their home off Lake Mack Drive on March 13th. When they got into an argument, Parker claimed that the older man then came at him with a knife. As investigators... Hold on. It's not funny. I just like ran a joke through my head and made myself laugh. All right. As investigators spoke with Parker, who is seated on the trunk of his LCSO pickup truck. What's LCSO?
Lake County Sheriff's Office.
Parker seated on the trunk. Oh, of an. Okay, got it. He pulled 2 human ears from his pocket and said they belonged to his grandfather. Parker then attacked the deputies in an attempt to escape.
Oh yeah, don't mind those. Those are just my grandpa's ears.
Hey, check these out. They're my grandpa's ears. All right, see ya.
Pulling the stuff out of his pockets. He pulls I can
God.
just imagine the flow of this conversation. The cop's like, wait, are those ears? Yeah. Whose ears are those? They're my grandpa's ears. I'm
Dean, that was the joke I was going for in my head. Something about grandpa wasn't listening, so I had to chop off his ears. Oh, okay. Investigators obtained a search warrant from the home and found a baseball bat that appeared to have bloodstains on it and a large butcher knife on the kitchen floor. They also found blood on the kitchen floor. That's just redundant. Confronted with further evidence, Parker reportedly confessed to bashing his grandfather in the head with the bat several times, repeatedly stabbing him with a butcher knife.
oh, now this is a
I
murder.
thought you
case.
chop with a butcher knife. You stab with like a chef's knife.
Yeah, well,
Anyways, authorities found Wells Sr. lying lifeless on the front porch at his residence. Orlando Sentinel reports. Sheriff's Office spokesman Lieutenant John Harrell said the victim had multiple stab wounds. Parker later told investigators that he killed Wells Sr. because he wanted his grandfather to be with his deceased grandmother. The suspect is currently behind bars Lake County Jail without bond, being charged with second-degree murder, resisting with violence, and battery on law enforcement officer.
so this guy had to have more things wrong with him than just being high, because
Probably
killed his-
smoking spice or bath salts.
he killed his grandpa because he wanted him to be with his dead grandma. It's just like, I'm tired of you, old man. Go be with grandma.
And kept his ears as souvenirs.
Yeah.
Didn't Dolph Lundgren do that in Universal Soldier?
Yes. He had a necklace of ears.
Dean. Jesus. You're on a roll tonight. Call him next week and say, can you hear me now? Jesus. Oh, okay. Do we want to watch this body cam footage?
Sure.
Yeah,
It
we
could
still got
be
30 minutes.
Could be
It'll
interesting.
play. Well,
Did it juke you?
yeah, it just rickrolled me. Anyways, all right, here's the next one. A Florida man was sentenced to 7 years after pretending to be associated with the Wu-Tang Clan and Rock Nation to scam hotels.
Huh?
See, balance. A Florida man was sentenced to 7 years in federal prison after scamming businesses by dropping some of the biggest names in hip hop. Aaron Barnes Burpo and his co-defendant told hotels they were associated with Wu-Tang Clan and Jay-Z's Rock Nation. Barnes Burpo and his co-defendant pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit wire fraud. Wire fraud? Were they trying to get money from them? Anyways, 29-year-old Florida man who pretended to be associated with some of the biggest names in hip-hop to get free services at hotels was sentenced to 7 years behind bars in federal prison. Burpo's sentence comes after he and his co-defendant pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit wire fraud. They told authorities that they were associated with the Wu-Tang Clan and Rock Nation. All right, here we go. The duo used the fictitious representations in addition to fake and stolen credit cards to defraud rental companies and hotels across the South early as September 2019. So there's where the wire fraud comes in.
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta Journal was citing a criminal complaint. Spree included skipping bills at Atlanta hotels, including $39,000 at the Hyatt Regency and $45,000 at the Georgian Terrace Hotel.
How do you spend that much money at a hotel?
Jesus.
And it's like, so what are they doing? They just, as they're checking out, like, oh, just hit up a Ghostface from Wu-Tang. He'll cover my bills.
It's like, even if it's like they do room service and he's getting like food out the ass and like drinking at the bar, ordering like the most expensive thing.
Mhm.
Like, but then again, it doesn't say how long they were there for. Right.
Yeah. Like, oh yeah, just hit up ODB. He got my bill.
Because I've run up some bar tabs before, but it's like 39,000. I mean, you would have to like go there with like a group of people for like even a week. Even like 20 people for a week probably couldn't rack up $39,000.
Unless they're getting like the highest high-end suites in the freaking.
But it's all right. So maybe the Georgian Terrace Hotel, because I mean, it's possible, but a Hyatt. But then again, I don't know about the Hyatt Regency. You know what? Let's look it up.
Hyatt Regency Atlanta.
I mean, it does look. I mean, it's nice, but it doesn't look like it. You could really like run the cost up on it. Rooms, dining, special events. Yeah, that looks like a basic Hyatt room.
It does.
Right, so they could probably up. Yeah, if they got the suite.
Premium suite. That's a pretty nice looking room. It doesn't look like anything.
This is the only picture that they show you of it. Okay. Let's see. Dining. Yeah, I mean,
22 stories.
$39,000 at this place.
Yeah, that looks like a stretch. They have to be ordering the most expensive everything, like just going ham.
Right. And like I don't even see a menu. Like, what is the most expensive thing? This just says, "Oh, hey, by the way, we have restaurants." Anyways, the luxurious scheme came to a stop in November 2019 when employees at Fairfield Inn and Suites in Augusta, Georgia, spend any more than 10 grand at a Fairfield Inn and Suites, and that's impressive. They became suspicious and notified the FBI and local sheriff's offices about their activity. For several weeks, here we go. Several weeks, these men defrauded multiple businesses posing as famous musical artists and their retinue.
Retinue?
That's
a really weird way of saying entourage.
Right? I was thinking the same thing. Thanks to alert hotel clerk, their phony hit parade came to an abrupt halt. In addition to his sentence, Barnes Burpo also has paid about $30,000 to 19 businesses and will be supervised for 3 years after his release. His co-defendant Washington is waiting to be sentenced. Read the original article. Yeah. What?
So,
Dean, how are you going to charge hookers and blow to the hotel? Unless it's one of those hotels. But
so,
Man.
Yeah, several weeks. I mean, I guess several weeks at one of those more high-end hotels, just buying all the most expensive stuff you can.
$39,000.
That is a lot. And he only has to pay back $30,000.
And they were saying that this happened over the course of several weeks. So that means let's say he only went to let's say this happened over the course of a month. He went to 2 hotels. That means in 2 weeks he spent $39,000 at one, $45,000 at the other one. Let's say, and it's a Hyatt, and that room doesn't look all that. So let's say the suite is $500, right? You're looking at what? $7,000 for the cost of the room. You still have $32,000 to spend on everything else.
All that expense, just buy all the most expensive champagne and shit. That's probably what they're doing. And they're buying $1,000 bottles of Cristal. Because you figure you spend 2 weeks at a hotel and you buy $1,000 bottle of Cristal a day. That's $14,000 right there.
Yeah, but that
So
Bro,
now
that
we're over
hotel
20.
doesn't look like that hotel doesn't look like it has a bottle of wine past $150.
Yeah, I mean, good point there.
Right. Anyways. Oh, Dean says he could have saved a bunch of money by going to Vegas and hooking up with the coroner and cracking open a few cold ones. And he could have saved a bunch of money by switching to Geico too.
I don't know. That coroner's fees were pretty steep, dude. Charging people $5,000.
Right? Oh man.
The stories Cameron.
Okay.
How he does it.
Speaking of lopping off parts of the human anatomy.
Uh-oh.
I mean, this is older. This is from like February, but so stop me if you've heard this one. Florida man blacked out before using scissors to sever his wife's lover's penis.
There's a chance. We cover stories like this all the time.
Right.
It's actually
Alex Bonilla cut off his wife's lover's penis in an apparent rage after he reportedly found her with the man.
sounds reasonable.
Let's see.
You know, people getting their dicks cut off is actually not very uncommon.
Yeah, but
we've covered stories of people getting their dicks bit off because they were trying to stick it into the mouth of a shark. That was a Florida man story.
Yeah, wow. Oh. So anyways, this guy, 51. Man, these boomers are like #winning. Set to plead guilty Thursday to charges of kidnapping, aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon for July 2019 attack in a victim's mobile home in Bell. Okay. Bonilla barged into the victim's home and threatened him with a handgun and a metal pipe. He tied up the man in his bedroom and said, "You're not going to die, but you're going to have something. But you're going to have something to remember this for your whole life."
This is clearly premeditated.
Or you're not going to have something to remember this by.
Right.
The married father of 5 from El Salvador. So it is Bonilla. Okay. Bonilla took a pair of scissors and began cutting the man's penis, splattering blood everywhere. That's unnecessary. He continued threatening the man before leaving. Well, I mean, threatening what? You already cut his dick off. What else are you gonna do? It's like, and I'm gonna kill you. It's like, and I'm gonna kill you. And I was like, well, you might as well, bro. Got nothing else left to live for.
Did he take the dude's dick with him when he left?
Like as a souvenir?
As a souvenir, or to go home and throw it at his wife?
Turn it into turn his dick into a rape whistle.
Because it's like, you know, he obviously found out about it. He didn't catch them in the act, because if he'd caught them in the act, I'd assume this would have happened at that time. Unless he did catch them in the act and then waited.
And the victim's 2 daughters were in the home during the incident.
Oh, wow.
And doctors have been unable to reattach the victim's penis, and he's been having trouble with urinating and have a sexual intercourse with his wife. You don't say.
You don't have a dick. It's a little hard to have sexual intercourse at that time. He could have used a vice. But
well, he had a pipe in one hand and he had a gun in the other hand. How's he going to carry the vice? Anyway,
so the kidnapping is because he broke in, and the guy's daughters were there. Why was there blood squirting everywhere? Because, there are not arteries, but I guess inside there. But I wouldn't assume it would really be squirting blood everywhere unless it was erect.
I'm not going to get into this. But yeah, you cut it off, it's going to bleed. Let's see.
Arterial spray.
How much time we got? We still got like 15 minutes. All right.
you got Dean pretty good with your turn his dick into a rape whistle.
I'm on it, bro, and I'm actually sober for a change. Because I'm not slurring all my words. I just am naturally this dumb and I can't formulate thoughts. Okay, sheriff's office. Florida man arrested, found hiding from the deputies in a dryer. Oh man. Please let it be an old guy. Deputies say that they were searching for a Florida man wanted for violating probation, and when they found him to make his arrest, he was inside the closed dryer. Lake County Sheriff's Office said that the incident happened when happened in Umatilla. Deputies went looking for 33-year-old Michael Brook to serve 2 warrants for violation of probation. They said that as deputies searched for the home for him, they found him inside of a clothes dryer. We guess he thought he was high and dry. Jesus. High and dry. Luckily, he didn't go for a tumble.
Jesus. So many puns.
Rim shot. Brooke is said to have been arrested prior to this, and K9 was used to apprehend him. He reportedly exited the dryer this time when he heard that a K9 was going to be used. In body camera video, Lake County Sheriff's arrest. That thing has my whole back twitched. I don't know what's worse, the dog or the laundry thing. What? Look, man, it's just easier to comply. Yeah, you got that. You got that. I came out on my own. I ain't gonna mess with y'all.
Because he was arrested once before and they used the canine. He's like, I ain't going for that again.
Right.
And it's like, how are people getting... Well, I understand this because he's probably actually on like legit probation. He's either popping on drug tests or not going to freaking check in with his officer and all that stuff. So he's getting probation violations, which is stupid.
Booked for both warrants, held no bond.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for probation violations, they're always a no bond thing. And they usually have a fixed amount of time that you're going to be in jail for.
Right. Let's see. 3 days ago. Let's do this one. Florida man accused of attacking officers with a fire extinguisher during Capitol's riots. No. 53. Let's see. There's that. There's Florida man charged with federal hate crime. No. What? Oh, Florida man on seeing 4 endangered Florida Panthers at the same time. Hacking Twitter. Yeah, the chopping off the ears again. Joining. Let's see. No, hole in one. Florida man hits a priest, then barricades himself in a church. That's 28 days ago. 15 days ago. Okay. He dies, so that's not really that funny. But Florida man drowns in a pond, presumably looking for a lost golf ball. Or maybe he's eaten by an...
covered this one a couple days ago, or a couple weeks ago.
Oh, you guys did do this one? All right. Well, I think I am clean out.
So yeah, I think we covered that story a couple weeks ago. He was like looking into the pond, said he fell down and knocked himself unconscious and drowned.
Oh, wait. Found one.
Okay.
Right when I was about to call this off, I went back to the front. A Florida man dressed up like the Joker and declaring COVID is over, baby, amidst surging crowds in Miami. Oh, so Florida's actually going crazy right now because spring break's going on, and I think like Miami just declared like a 8 p.m. curfew or something like that, something outrageous.
Damn.
because they can't deal with like all the people.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Florida ended statewide lockdowns and mask mandates long before anyone else, but even state officials were horrified by what happened over the weekend. Not only was there an outbreak at Mar-a-Lago, where former President Donald Trump likes to hold maskless soirees, but there was also huge crowds packing into Miami Beach. Yep, celebrating spring break. And though if we weren't still dealing with a pandemic, even instituting an 8 p.m. curfew did little to disperse the crowds, which included such colorful figures as a dude with Joker face paint waving a flag prematurely declaring the age of COVID to be over. Excuse me. Paints face and hair like Joker goes to South Beach, climbs up with the car with American flag, screams, "Fucking COVID's over, baby," and makes it rain. Okay.
You might not have clicked the button. He didn't really make it rain all that much.
he made it sprinkle.
Yeah.
All right. And that's just okay. That like barely happened. Man was caught on by filmmaker and self-avowed Florida man Billy Corbin, who showed the guy not only shouting, was also throwing up a bunch of bills, also threw in the face palm hashtag because Miami. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Like one paragraph about the guy and then like 3 paragraphs about how Florida's stats and COVID and all this other stuff. So,
yeah.
Anyways, via the New York Times calling the guy dude. Well, I'm tapped out. I think that's going to be my last one.
Sounds good to me. So I guess we can go ahead and close it out. So yeah, make sure you check out all the other WO entertainment stuff we've got. Go to the page, check out the show list, check out WOHQ, check out It 1700 Summer, check out Ill Trained Fighters. Yeah. Don, you have anything you wanted to throw out there?
No, I mean, it's nice hanging out with you again and getting into the world of craziness of news that's been going on. Everybody that's been watching, it's been nice chatting with you guys, seeing what's going on. Other than that, I guess you can find me on Ill Trained Fighters, 2 p.m. Eastern. Even though it won't be on next week, you can find me there if you want to talk about some geeky and nerdy stuff. If not, follow me on my socials. And I guess we'll see you when we see you.
Later, y'all.
See you guys.